Hi everyone, this is Richard, and this is my historical scholarship video. And for this, I've been trying to find out more about free will thinkers, their impact, kind of their ideas. And so I went to the JSTOR or Falwell Library's research guide for history, and I was looking on different databases that they had and found the British Periodicals database. So I started looking on there for things, and I found a review of Verheer von Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz's essay on the goodness of God, the free will of man, and the origin of evil, that was written in the Memoirs of Literature for April 10th, 1711. And the title caught my interest, so I decided I would read the review, see what it said. And so the review discusses Leibniz's work. It goes over how it's a defense of religious theology, the free will thinking theology. Talks about how Leibniz sees that the formalities of religion, ceremonies and rituals, causing people to forget what was truly important in religion, the piety and devotion to God. And the article goes on reviewing this work. And the essays found in Leibniz's book, Theodicy. And in this, Leibniz argues that true piety and happiness comes from the love of God, which is found in the knowledge of God, that we have to have a true knowledge of Him or we can't love Him. And so the essay itself argues that if we don't know who God is, if we give into these different thoughts, concepts that Leibniz talks about, predestination, the different ways that predestination works, he goes over them in his essay, then we can't really love God, because these ideas make it where God is not really just. He picks and chooses according to his own desire. He gives people faith who he wants to have faith, and damns others that he doesn't want to save. And for Leibniz, these false notions, as Leibniz calls them, takes people away from God. And so he says that people need to overcome this. And he argues that our actions have merit, that what we do is important. They affect history. Things don't happen just because they are written or that God says they're going to happen, but things happen because of our actions, our will, our ability to choose between different things. And he rejects the idea that God controls our actions. And so after reading the review, I decided I wanted to go read the essay, and I found the Theodicy in the early English books, an English translation of it, and it's connected to the Gutenberg book project. And so I started to read the essay, found it in the Theodicy, and it was a very interesting essay. In there, he talks about Leibniz talks about how we need to love God. He goes over the different ideas that people held that he believes takes us away from God, and these ideas of predestination and how God can decide who is going to be saved, who isn't going to be saved, without really any real input from us, more of a random pick that we don't understand. And he says this isn't good. But he also tries to talk about how evil exists in the world and how God had to create the perfect world, and so that evil was part of this, because we had to have the ability to choose. Without suffering evil, without knowing evil, suffering death, suffering loss, sickness, we would never understand and be grateful for what we do have, our life, our health, being able to make good choices and grow from those choices that we do make. I found that a very interesting argument. And I also tried to find some articles on Leibniz, and I found one that discusses his ideas and tries to look at them through an incompatibilist theory, the idea that free will is against determination. That was an interesting article as well. Thank you for listening to my presentation.